Well, obviously, we've picked the best day of the year to be out here at Greeley's newest natural area. And with me today to enjoy this beautiful weather, we have Kristen Wilkinson, who is with our Natural Areas and Trails Department. Kristen, it's great to have you here. And I know that there's been all kinds of things that have been happening, maybe sort of kind of behind the scenes for Shur View. But to catch everybody up, can you give us an idea of what is new here at Greeley's newest natural area?
Yeah, Amy, we've been doing a lot of community outreach and engagement, especially with youth.
Okay, so you said especially with youth. Why specifically youth?
We are focusing on youth because youth voices have historically not been included in planning processes like this. And we at Greeley Natural Areas and our partners at the Trust for Public Land think it's really important to include and elevate these underrepresented voices.
All right, so along with that process, I'm sure there are some goals. So what are some of the goals that you're hoping to achieve by working with the youth here in Greeley?
Our goal is that the youth learn that they can share their voice to improve their community and that they have the ability to take action to make the world a better place.
All right, so I'm assuming that some things have already happened with the youth. And so tell us how that process has been going as you've been kind of engaging with the different groups around town.
Sure. Well, I'd like to highlight the work that we've been doing with the local high schools, Greeley West and Greeley Central High Schools. At Greeley Central, I've been working with the Avid Club there. So back in February, I attended one of their club meetings and talked about the new natural area and got some of their ideas at that point. And then when the weather got better in early May, we brought them out here for a field trip. So they got to walk around and really experience the site.
All right, so we've talked, offline, you and I, about this natural area, also what some folks may know as Shur View. It's kind of one of those places where you got to experience it to really fully engulf what is here, what it's about, what you can experience, and just enjoy while you're here and west side of Greeley. So tell us about the kids. What did they think?
They thought it was an amazing place, and they were sort of astonished that something like this existed so close to town. I mean, you can see the landscape behind us. It's just an amazing place that you can't describe to someone. So we got to walk around with them for a little bit on the trails, and then we asked them to draw some pictures, imagining that they were coming back here in 5 years from now, and what they'd like to see here 5 years from now, who they might be visiting with, and what activities they might like to be able to do here.
Yeah, okay, so you have an example. I know you have an example. I'm excited to see this. So so this is an example of what one of the kids did?
Yeah, so this student focused on the trails, some benches, some trees for shade, but generally really letting the natural landscape speak for itself.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome example, and and to see the kids' vision of what this area could look like and may look like in the future. I know that's something that probably he is going to be very excited about because he'll see that come to life and get to experience that for himself.
That's our hope, is that these students really see their vision and their voice represented in the planning process and feel like they've been able to make a difference.
All right, so you'd also mentioned Greeley West. You had Greeley Central and Greeley West. Can you give us an idea of how they're involved in the process?
Yeah, so the AP and IB environmental students at Greeley West created some interpretive signs. So these temporary signs are about the wild plants and animals that live out here at the natural area, and they're going to be installed later this spring.
Okay, and again, I know you have an example of this. Now, when I saw this before we filmed today, I was like, that brings me back to the good old high school days of doing the research and trying to find out as much as I could about a topic, but then also creating the imagery and what people will be looking at when they come here. So very well done.
And we're just really excited that the students were able to have a hand in what this space is going to look like in the short term. So these temporary signs will be up and posted when the property opens to the public a little bit later this spring.
Okay, so you had mentioned about students coming out here. Did the Greeley West students get to come out as well to do the signs?
Unfortunately, their field trips were canceled by the really intense rainstorms we had in mid-May this year, so they weren't able to come out.
Okay, so we're going to give the kids kudos then for creating these signs for a place that they may not have experienced themselves. So kudos, guys. Way to go, Spartans. And of course, also to the Wildcats. I can't leave them out, for Central. So next thing, so now that we know that we're going to have some signs out here, I know people are itching to come and check this place out themselves. Can you give us an update on when things might be opening up out here at Greeley's newest natural area?
Absolutely. So a small portion of the property is going to open a little bit later this spring. Okay. We don't have an exact date yet, but we will post an update on Speak Up Greeley when a date is decided. And at that time, we will have about 3 miles of service roads open for trails, so that folks can come out and walk and bike. Unfortunately, dogs will not be allowed at this time. We still need to learn a little bit more about the wildlife and how they might be impacted by dogs.
Okay, all right, great update. Thank you so much, Kristen, for being here today, and thanks for working with the youth in our area.
I'm very excited and just so happy that they can be part of the process.
All right, so for more about Greeley's newest natural area and updates on the project and dates for openings and all of the above, make sure you head on over to speakupgreeley.com.